Good evening or hello, good morning, everybody. My name is Uwe Kippnich. I'm working for the Bavarian Red Cross headquarters in the Rescue Service Department with a focus on research project. The Bavarian Red Cross is part of a big Red Cross presence worldwide family. What I have in my luggage today is to talk about what is a Bavarian Red Cross, a short 60 minutes promotion tour about our local organization. Important focus on the end user, which use case is ongoing, and also I think it could be also interesting a national and international research project. Yes, what is going on in the future with drones, and I think I have to make a mix on slides. Joseph has received the slides and shares this after the meeting with you as PDF. You have all information. So yes, drones by PPTR, Public Protection Disaster Relief, is a very sexy rescue tool. It's coming up every week in our region. We have a new drone teams by firefighters, police, rescue services. This growing is also problematic in aid of safety and security procedures. And you see on the center slides that we have teams by mountain rescue, firefighters, infrared and overview. So what from our perspective is important that we share also on a local level our experience. So in the exercise, like the picture from last week, we talk with THW, with firefighters, with our own medic teams, and we have set up not protocols, but a little bit checklists, and both are on site in the mission. What can we make, which area, which use basis use. And so I will start with two of small slides. What the Bavarian Red Cross is one of 19 national societies German-wide. We are maybe controlled by a Ministry of Interior. So we have in German, it's very difficult to translate. 18 associations are Vereine, Jonas, eingetragene Vereine. I asked my backup for translate. It's difficult. And Körperschaft des öffentlichen Rechts, it means is a special construction, legal construction. So we have a president and we have 3 local branches and 5 districts, 1 headquarters, and 5 communities. So what is also on our structure is we have a medical service and also maybe professional means with the salary. We have but some volunteers in an area who set up an advanced medical post. We have mountain rescuers, and the mountain rescue colleagues maybe brings the drones in the field since 15 years in the situation where missing people in the Alps. It was very difficult to climb up and find out, and we have an all times weather for helicopters. And so Youth Red Cross, we have lifeguard service, and last but not least, health and social service. Mission units are maybe on a called Bereitschaften, mountain rescue, water rescue. So you can read by yourself. This is our bookmarks, our KPIs, let's say. And my department of research is connected by an ambulance service, by a rescue service. We have around about 130 volunteers, and we have 320 rescue stations, 2 own rescue helicopters, command centers. I think it's a big range what we have. But now back to the main topic of this session is to talk about what can drones use. And it's for me important that to say, yes, we as German like Bavarian as a superstars in this field. We can learn from everybody, yes. And I think it's very important that we have the opportunity, thanks to Joseph, to share our experience and stay in touch and in contact with the other colleagues, what is oncoming in the future, or what are typical lessons learned experience. So for leading and directing emerging personalities from a position is for guiding. Easy use case could be that we evaluate by drones an exercise. If you have a view from the top, you can see the parking lot, how the ambulances are parked. You can see here some water rescue structure, missing person, rescue boat, lifeboat, etc. And also an interesting use case is that we make an assessment and we work closely with the firefighters. And I think it's a little bit crazy, but it's very effective to use a cheap drone. Maybe let me say $15 in your money world, and he's flying in the room in the firehouse and can check is a missing person there or not. Yes, it is much more safer than we activate fire smoke divers for this operation. What we can. Another one is if we have. Can you hear me? Yes, no? Okay, thanks. A festival, and you have an overview of what is ongoing. What we use drones is for detection with special sensors on it. So this is a small range of the drones team who use it or have experience on this part. But you can see on the left pictures, this is a decontamination tent from a fire brigade. And you have directly from a safe position an overview which area is safe and which area is unsafe. And we had it also in a flood situation in the summer. It's very dramatic in Germany. In western of Germany, we have also used drones that we make air pictures from damage, from bridge, from railways, from whatever. And so we have an idea how is the best place to set up, as example, an advanced medical post, or where is a position for commander, for on-site commander. And what we are very often alarmed, and we have around about 18 drones teams or around about Bavaria, and they are activated or alarmed if the call center received alarm call or a missing person. Or a person from a nurse home is away and comes in the evening by night not back. And so the police is looking for, and when it's not enough, we have a K9 units there on the ground, and then the drones will also operate in this mission. And so we have also as a challenge that we have no struggle and no fail with the rescue helicopters in the sky if they are on site. As a good example is also that we can use drones for water rescue missions, like our flooding. You see, hopefully you can see it in car underwater, and if you're standing on the side and you have not the view and you don't see it, so drones help, and we use it also for this use case, the missing objects mapping. And also for the flooding and the climate change situation, we use the drone. So in summary or overview, we have very often indication for search and rescue mission, to use drones for exercise evaluation, to use drones for detection, and last but not least, assessment round about the situation from the disasters. So we have a good connection to all players in the blue light world. And so from our from our Federal Office of Civil Protection and Disaster Assistance, it's called BVK. It is a regulation. It's in German, Gemeinsame Regelung zum Einsatz von Drohnen im Bevölkerungsschutz, means translate national regulation for drone missions in case of our civil protection. So this is very easy but helpful. We have also checklists that is very important. We have very big great drones, make emissions, the drones comes back, but there's no SD card to save the images in it, okay? The mission was was not. This is easy things, and if you have a checklist, you have your first aid material by side, have your gloves, have your gloves, yes, have you check the air traffic, have you an on-site commander, especially for the drones coordination, etc., etc., etc. It's very helpful to understand. Easy things has the most benefit. Yes, we are living in a digital world, but a clipboard with a piece of paper and a pen is also helpful. Yes, and in this regulation, we talk also about which training use pilot. A drone is not a toy. A drone is an aircraft. Yes, it's an unmanned aircraft, and so we must train our staff. So some of them go to the seller, buy a drone for some money. The seller gives an introduction for 2 hours, and he come back and say, "I'm a drone pilot." Okay, this is a daily struggles that we had in not only in Bavarian, German-wide, worldwide. I don't know, and so we hope to bring sensitivity to the teams to say, okay, I need information about regulation. I need information about weather forecast, about first flight training. And what is very, very important to transfer to the interest group who like to buy a drone to say, okay, buy a drone, the cheapest one, 30 euros, 15 euros, and learn how is this UAV react by your controller. Not automatically, maybe you have a pitch, is fly in front, is back to you. And so if you have a first level, you come the next level. And it's very important, we are the drones team, not professional maybe, it's a volunteer unit, Bavarian World, German-wide. And so you must find enough person who are interested at this part of rescue. If you have person, you say, oh, drones pilot, Red Cross is great. And you say, okay, the next mission is Christmas evening at 8. You say, oh, not today. Okay, you must bring the experience to the person. And in case, and this we have make a risk analysis and have find out, the blue one is a police, this is a civil protection helicopter, find out that the chance that the helicopter is crashed with the drones is very high on the disaster scene. And based on our European legal and regulation, it's not allowed. That is everybody, but the blue light organization can fly wherever she wants. Okay, maybe it's a little part of where it's not allowed, but most of them you can declaration make it as a training, and so it's also okay. And on these pictures, can you see my mouse or my yes, you can see. You have a disaster, and so it's not so easy to translate it correct. But this is a common post. He is sitting in a police house, not on site. Yes, he is in rescue, whatever. And you have a first person in silver commander who coordinates the drones. He is not a pilot, but this is the left one, and takeoff and landing area 1 and takeoff and landing area 2. The drones fly up to 100 meters and only left from away. And he is not, I don't know, and right from away. Okay. And you must, and this is very, very tricky to become information, has helicopter maybe involved in this operation or not? Yes, and so you must have also all times 2 persons to fly this drone. One is a pilot and one is a spotter, and the spotter checks the cameras, the area, and back to the introduction topic with a checklist. He goes step by step, and you don't forget. And so, so you have an understanding. It's not all gold in Germany. It is very difficult. We have no overview how many drones are in operation in the Bavarian Red Cross. So it is split on the 3 main units. It's water rescue, mountain rescue, and the other part. And yeah, so but I think it is a first step that everybody imagine, based on his training, said, okay, we need an on-site commander, silver commander for this role. He looks at his air traffic is under control. So you have, he is the boss of both, and the other one is seasonal on-site commander. It's very difficult to translate it correctly. And this is a flight boss in the middle. And the flight boss can say, okay, keep careful, this area, not too high, not too deep, down, up, whatever. So this was the first part of my presentation. If you have question, you can go directly jump in, or we can make it on the end of the presentation. If you have a question right now,
So I have a question. If you can maybe provide a little bit of detail about how you got to the place with the drone program where you are today, like did it start very small, or was there like a big initiative to set things up, or how did it grow?
Okay, a good question. Let us go. Wo gehen wir hin? So what we do is, it was an initiative initiative from a mountain rescuer for 15 years, and here one small group in one Alp village have set up a drone. Yes. And have okay, bringing in mission, is this allowed, is not allowed. And so we have, it's an open feedback. We have no clear regulation for that. Yes, we are in discussion. What we make that we have a clear protocol, and really the basic for our drone job is to use one regulation for everybody. And if you ask for the agenda, yes, is that we have, we hope we bring our three main groups, maybe mountain rescue, water, under one umbrella. So all units from a Red Cross, but it's very difficult that the people have understanding that it's better when we have a red light. Yes, for it. And for the future, our dream is that we have very special teams, not too much. It is expensive. You need a person. You must be in training, and to use drones. What we have also did is with it's not secret. I jump. So I think we have a family meeting. It's allowed to jump in my Explorer to find out what we talk about. I need 15 seconds, 14, 13, 20. Oh. We have proper in English, exactly for this meeting right now. Okay, you can see it?
Yes, we can.
So what we have with the German Aerospace Center and our Bavarian Red Cross is that we have a workflow. Yes, that we have a management, and as basic for our idea. Yeah, and this is also, we can send you afterward. I think it's a conference in Texas where the colleagues are speaking about this. So we have alerting is the take-home message is, we need a standard. If you have a big white standard or a small, a standard for all blue lights. So we have a confirmation, it is alarm. The first question is, need we a drone or not? Yes, the operation room need a sensibility is, you have, I don't know, you have a stroke patient, I think you don't need a drone. Yes, you have a missing people in the field, you need a drone. Okay, and if the operation room, you handle 500 emergency calls in the morning, you need a supporter in a machine, also in a computer. And yes, so we have a plan mission, coordinate, confirm, on ground decision. And very important that so is the role is local PPTR, drone pilot, spotter, flight manager, expert advisor. So I think it could be a good point that you have different functionalities on the ground. Yes, one part, maybe I think everybody in this call is clear. You have a DJI drone, you can go for a good beer and can make your mission digital and come back, and the drone is safety landing. Okay, but we are not on a consumer level. We are on a professional level right now. And so we have all functionalities. We have also the on-site operation coordination center. There's a command post. It's like your incident command system. Yeah, so could be. And so it is a drone mission possible. Yes, on the ground we was then pre-flight check and prepare takeoff area. We had some incidents if a person is crashed with a drone. Yes, he was injured afterward. You have a confirmation, planning the route, flight operation request, and monitor drone safety conditions. This is very important point during the operations that you have a safety officer in speed, more or less. And the communication drone intends also a payload data management. You have in the field a very, very bad coverage, if you have coverage. Okay, so this is a problem. It's not so easy. And have you checked all your point of interest? This is why POI standing. And end of mission, plan first, again, coordinate rescuer. Such successful person is gefunden. Finding, wir finden es nicht richtig. Jonas?
Once the person is found.
Okay, thanks. I have a little man in my ear for the special translating. Jonas, Dankeschön. And yes, so you have a confirmation, and this is also important. You have an after-flight check, also for insurance, also propellers or the rotors checked, the ACCO. And last but not least, maybe this is a sunny flight. This document is not in every mind from a drones pilot, but you have to see the evaluation. Yeah, what is ongoing, and so we have I will look for it's a chat question to me. Is okay, go speak me about okay. I think I have saw the chat, you saw it also, and we go to the question in the end of the presentation. Is this okay for everybody? Joseph, it's okay?
Yeah, you want to continue and then come back to the questions?
Yeah, okay, so we make it as a summary. Okay, so, and thank you for the question. Horizon 2020 will be on the next slide, I think. So, what we do is that we have motivation to jump in research projects, national and international. So what we see on the market, some people who are not involved in our Red Cross Red Crescent family or in the medicine, remain overnight the expert for blood transportation, for assessment, for rescue operation. Yes, and we are from as the experts and some years have no this to do. So it is from our federal traffic ministry to make a project. It's medicine in time. It is a small box under UAV, and we have some expensive medicine. It's not big. I have no some payload, maybe like a short package, 100 gram or whatever. And so we have a topic, or the aim of a project is to deliver medicine from a central hospital to the local Bosch hospital. Yes, it's 15 kilometers. And also we discuss in the project problems like transportation document. If you have medicine or you have drugs, it's critical. And you have also a call-based management software. So it's good is not overcooked if you are landing in the summertime in the hospital. The next project, it's maybe a very interesting project. It's not a consumer drone. It's a special from an aeronautical factory built. It is our project name is called Laros. Laros is in combination with a Coast Guard, with a volunteer Coast Guard in Germany. It is Seenotretter, and SRI, I think it's Search and Rescue International. And she has a big gimbal, and he has this gasoline motor, and he have a flight time 8 hours. I don't know. And he is on this is a really very great challenge. Also, in case of a regulation, he flies PV lost, yeah, joint visual line of sight. This drone, and he makes, if you have in a long region the flooding situation, he flies 15 kilometers, make a monitor about the damage on the dam, etc. And he has also a payload, maybe for a first aid kit. And so it is a fixed wing drone. It is maybe, so what we discuss right now is that we make it a little bit 25 kilos. So the level about the new regulation step is more than 25. If you are not 25, or up to 25, so it is easy to become maybe you are connected right with the regulation. So a flight time, and so this is why the Coast Guard is involved for missing people in the sea. Also, if it is frozen fog, freezing fog is a problem by the rotors. Yes, we have a heater on board. And so if you have a 8 Bedford wind is a little bit storming, yes, it is normally drones is crashed by this weather condition. Okay, and what we also make, this is a command truck that we have for communication. And now we set up in this command truck the base station. And so what we plan in the project is that the company who create or who makes the drone comes with equipment, come to the command truck. The command truck is prepared. Where is the mission area? What is the situation? What is the use case? Yeah, and make a short connection and have all information what you need. And so it is a transmission, and you have also a safe area. It is not directly the field. If it's cold, it's windy, it's rainy. So I think this is a new solution. So we have an emergency set. In this set, it is around about a payload from 2 kilos. We have a small first aid equipment like Israeli bandage, yes, like a tool, a Leatherman, yes, on it. You have heater, blankets with chemical heater situation, etc., etc. And the drone brings this first aid kit close to the disaster scene, to the people who need it, yes. And he falls down with a parachute. Yeah, maybe so it's only on the research condition. The research is you have 1,000 questions to clarify, yes, but you have opportunities that you go in discussion about this topic, what is ongoing. The Coast Guard use the project with ISTART. It's an automatically identified system. It's search and rescue transmitter. Yes, if you have found a person in the sea or a boat, it's also to bring this to the person. This is a project, Laros. It's with some universities and process end users on it. And the next project is from the past. It's called COPTI, satellite-based platform of support, leading and deployments. Yeah. So it calls also Laros, but it's not the Laros. So we have a working place in a command center. You have on the left all, there's a cockpit. You have a view, and you have your your mission planning on a map. And you have an alarm, so it comes with Copcar, a satellite car with a drone on it, and he is starting automatically. The future is you will in future you have separate drone spaces like rescue station, and if you have an alarm, automatically the drone becomes the information which way is to fly, and he is go up and away. So this use case was you see a fire close this gasoline tankers, and you can from far away from a disaster scene via a camera and loudspeaker to say, or where you can see a drone, yes, go to this point, and this point is this is a point of. Also interesting is a free rail project. Free rail make with special cameras the high-speed train tracks and looking for vegetation. Are the trees in the line, in the power lines, yes, or whatever. So regarding the question to Horizon 2020, is this the International Horizon 2020 project, it's RESPON drone. And the idea of RESPON drone is to find out or to connect the drones, the technique to synchronize. Maybe it's a little a mix between swarm drones technique, and you have here air picture also on your mobile phone, and you can see what is ongoing or how is your mission structure. Under the lead from our THW, it is also yes, a big consortia is called Cursor. So it's a combination between drones and ground robotics. And the use case is missing people on these pictures. These nerves, maybe show these are mock-ups, small robots, and the drone is landing, and the nerves go alone in a collapsed building looking for person. And this black box is not a black box, is a ground radar. And this ground radar about the collapsed building, the on-site commander on his screen has a impression what he sees. So the last slide right now is from me is a slide with what is very important about also questions from you. You must talk or take a coffee with everybody every day. Yes, you have THW, firefighters, DLR, police, Coast Guard, military, national police, federal police, secret service, SWAT teams, some players on the field. And so it is very important that you go in discussion with everybody. And from this situation, we set up every year a drones conference. It is close to Munich. It's in a town called Ingolstadt. And so near close in cooperation with the university. And so we have a year per year more and more connections like police helicopter. If you need a rescue helicopter pilot or a police helicopter and say, hey, I'm a drone pilot, you have no fun to drink coffee. Okay? And you must go in an open discussion, and so you can learn from each other, lessons learned, and so I think, yeah, this would be it. Okay, 37 minutes to speak. We jump to the question, Joseph, is okay?
Yeah, I think that'd be great. I had a question also in the chat as well, I think, about the training. So I was wondering how you verify that people have the right skills, if it's just a national certification, or does the Red Cross do flight tests or some other tests?
I'm not aware. I pick up my regulation. Sorry for this analog system, but we can. What we did at first is that we look for person. If you have a person who have a model or a hobby helicopter, yes, and he has a fable for radio control, yeah, or for technician, or for yes, for yeah, let me say for technical roundabout. At first, he must be a member of our organization. The discussion with assessment center national was a very long, or is a very long discussion, yes. But we say if the boss from a unit says okay, he can make a training, and what we ask for it is a little bit a hard discussion. Is say if he must have a driver license, you know, he normally for a car, not for the 747 in the air, only for a car or pickup. And if you have a driver license, he has no stress with the police. Yes, he have a basic as a correct person. And so what we also do is we have like a K9 duck team, a drones team, a medic team, a motorcycle staff. It is our own community. And in these trainings, it is a mismatch. So the volunteer have more and more pressure in his work. He becomes salary. And if he go in his hobby time or free time into our organization, he say, oh, it's very interesting, but I have no motivation to make 200 hours training before I can go to fly. I move to the other organization. And so back to your question, hopefully this is correct. Yes, we have no standard assessment center. What we did is that we offered a drones license from a German Luftfahrtbundesamt, national airspace regulation. You can make online a license for European is used the license A and C. Yes, and A and C helps to become a first impression that our house critical role as drones pilot. Yeah, you have opportunity to go with him talk, and so yeah, and then you make a training and so.
There's a question in the chat about what kind of relationship you have with the authorities. It sounds like you have a very close relationship, but maybe you can talk a little bit more about that.
Okay, so with the governmental, huh? Was the question, huh? Or Kai is raise your hand. Kai, go ahead.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, brilliant.
Yeah, yes, I'm a colleague of the German Red Cross from the good old Hesseland, and I can explain what we have done for the education. We have in this guidance there is a education sample. It's around 100 hours, you can say, of training. What you can use also that we use official education, like Uwe mentioned, that we say, okay, if you have done some official trainings, you can use them, but you need to upgrade some external additional Red Cross internal stuff like communication, radios, when you want to use a radio in this mission and so on. So you have maybe different courses that you can also include in this. And the whole training, it's around 100 hours plus, let's say, around 20 to 30 minimum flight hours that you have to log. Yeah, that is described in here. That is divided in two parts. It's part one, or A, is 60 hours, and the second part is 40 hours. And then you have, of course, you need additional trainings like, let's say, in a special environment. Yeah, if you use a single drone with one pilot, let's say we use mostly two, one camera operator, one pilot. So you need different steps in the training. But this is more than unit specific on the technical details what they use. Yeah, depending on the drones. Yeah. So that's 100 hours plus around 30 hours of flight. and then you have to pass a test and also a mission test. And afterwards, you're, let's say, a certified Red Cross drone pilot for our country. Yeah, that's what we do in our area.
Can you tell me your area again?
Hessen.
Okay, you can wir können jetzt nicht in Deutsch reden, ne? But back to the English. So what I had shared is this regulation what we had talked about. Yes, we have a German Red Cross from a Secretary General, a regulation with 193 sites, where is clear what you must do for this training. Yes, but the problem is some person say, oh, it's okay, but I have it already what you are asking for, and the problem is to bring this regulation in the field. Yes, everybody say, okay, I'm drawn by. I think this is critical. If the call is you have a crash on site, and so you have maybe a basic, and the problem is that not all 19 local branches use this basic. Yeah, so okay, I can say I need 20 minutes to find the chat function right now, but I can see the question. Okay, from search and place. It's okay, Joseph. I read the question and we go step by step.
Yeah. Go ahead. I think.
Okay, so I know from Euro, the search and rescue project. My also an organization where I'm working for, maybe as volunteer, is PSC, Public Safety Communication Bureau, is also involved in search and rescue. But please send me. I'm happy if you send me an email. You find on the last slide my my contact and also with a Geschichte. Thanks for how look there. Okay, is for Guy, Madame Gaillet, is Gaillet correct from my speech, from your question? Not yet. Caillou again? You raise your hand?
Oh, sorry, no, it's still open.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Back again to the relationship with the authorities. The boss in the area is maybe a legal on a European level, and also what is illegal for European is also used by German as a way of government. And the authorities are very important that he builds a bridge between firefighters, police, and all PPDRs on the field. Okay, since I got your answer. Okay, good point from Dave Strobel. Thanks for the different organizations involved getting information. So the information or the exchange of information is a very tricky challenge. Yes, and so we saw in our dramatic flood situation in summertime, we need not seconds, not minutes, not hours. We need days. Okay, days to transfer, and we have also not our own protocol for this. Our experience is if you could save the picture, and you can send it normally as PDF picture or PowerPoint as email. And so the problem is if you are fully in action during a mission, you have no time to find out what, or you don't find time what can be maybe what to use special technical, etc. You need a long training for this, and so this is what we are in the future make to find an information group. How can we share the pictures? Yes, and overview about the situation. The assessment is a basic for a good mission, yes, but we need days and weeks to become an overview. The flood in Western Germany was in the night of the 14th of July. Maybe today is 29th of September, and we are all times missing 40 persons. Yeah, it's horrible, and we have also step by step an overview. It was a flood area from 70 kilometers, which bridge is damaged, with electric is down, etc. Yeah.
There's a question from Jill about drone traffic. If other agencies are also using drones, how do you navigate with the other agencies during an event?
Okay, so we have maybe the PPDRs have the same aim, yes, and so we have no struggle. We have better friends to X and have not so good to the other one, but normally all blue lights, the whole blue light family work on one problem, yes, and so we have maybe yes. Not negative. What is negative is if you have private drones. Yes, this is like from influencer, like from Twitter experts. Yeah, for neighborhood. Yes, for disaster tourists. This was a really big problem. Some person are driving with family with a picnic luggage to the disaster scene and start. And so we had maybe in a main rescue phase around about 100 helicopters on the air in a small area. Yeah, it was horrible enough for the pilot from pilot to pilot, and if you have a drone. So back to your question, no negative with the other one. But the problem is the unbound people, they are on the ground and the victims who use drones.
So then Jill has a follow-up about how do you communicate with each other when you're in the accident and either of you have drones? I guess, like, what are the communication tools that are used?
Okay, the best one is face-to-face. Yes, really. And what you can set up for it is, give me a second, please.
This is Kai again. Maybe I can jump also in. I was in the first week of the flooding also in this area, and they stopped at the beginning the chaos phase the whole drone flight. Why this was too dangerous for the helicopters in this small area, as Uwe mentioned, and afterwards that was more regulated. But you have to know the Tetra communication, the digital network, yeah, for radio communication, that was broken down. Yeah, so the infrastructure was so destroyed that even I would say the basic stuff didn't work, and the Red Cross also implemented there in the first week a Tetra governmental radio network, Tetra also, that they have a minimum basic communication. So the first week they tried to set up some radio stations new, yeah, that they have minimum communication. And I mean that's why I said there was no real discussion, yeah. So in the whole time, yeah, why there were so many problems of communication, that I will say that was no, you have to fly, yeah, and if you see something, you have to go down. Yeah, there was no real discussion during a mission, how you can, let's say, coordinate even drone flights. Yeah, that was at the beginning.
So thank you for the introductions. This is my own photo from 2 days later in a disaster. And the problem is for the drones, the rescue helicopters and the winch operation are you see the water line here. yes, and the rescue helicopters are flying 20 meters above ground, yes, and the drone, this was a region, is flying here. It was really what you mentioned was really horrible that we have drones action, and we have also cancelled all our own drone activities. And what we have also learned, the drone is not the best of one. What we need is a on-site assessment with special trucks. And I have also insist to call my friend Chaim. We are also the head of practitioner evaluation team from EU project Roadway. And during the flood, we had don't use Tetra radios. We had one national group that we stand in contact with our home base in Munich to Rheinland-Pfalz. It is 400 kilometers, but normally some base stations are collapsed, and this was nothing. And drones in the disaster phase to use in this major disaster, you have no benefit. Yeah. So this is what we have learned from this mission. And what you had addressed, it was a question how is the communication with the other drone teams. The drones family is a community, okay, and she learned it from a training and from whatever. And here is, if you have a drone mission, you have THW and firefighters. They are standing with his command trucks closer. Yes, in this area where it is working.
Great, thank you. I think we might have time for one last question before the end of the hour, if anybody has a quick one. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Uwe, for giving this great presentation.
One short remark from here before I close the session. Thank you to everybody, also to see all, not all friends. It's important, all friends. Yeah, all friends in the chat. I hope you have. It is so a big topic, drones. I think it was only to give you an overview what was ongoing. Yes. And I was very happy that we have the opportunity to share our experience, and feel free and back to Joseph. And thanks again for the great discussion, and this gives me a signal about your great interest. Thank you. And also Joseph for organization.